Hello, my name is Fernanda Sobral, and today I'm going to talk about my opinion on the two projections I saw at UNAM. So I have my tickets here. I went to both this was seen by my dog in a previous video, and I went to both the Renoir, which in the video they called Renoir, or I don't know what, and the gardens projections. So I think that in previous activities I have talked about how I am not a huge fan of visual art. I think I have never been able to understand it completely. It normally produces like nothing on me. And I see other people very moved by it, by different pictures. For example, my mother, whenever we go to a museum, she can stare at something for hours, and I just don't see why, because it makes no sense for me. I'm more attracted to other types of art, like music and literature, but visual arts have never been like my strong point. And I think it's probably because it's pretty hard for me to understand too. But I really like the approach given by these projections, because in both cases they are bringing something to us that we could be otherwise unable to see in the way we saw there. There are like so many different images, so many art pieces, and so many opinions from experts that otherwise, without this projection, we would be unable to see. And I think that is something very valuable, especially for those who really appreciate art, because they get to like be there even though they are not there. Even the way they call them, I think they said like video expositions or something like that. Like, you are there but you are not physically there, but you can still learn from the work of these artists. So what I liked most about Renoir's projection was the whole idea of how they look into his own personal life. For example, when they talk about the children, even when they use like abstracts from things his son wrote, and use it to explain how the whole personality of the artist was built. I think that is something really valuable in order to understand. Well, at least for me, it's pretty hard to understand it. And with all this information, it becomes easier. I think it was also very interesting to find a collector that was actually like genuinely interested on some type of work of a person, because I feel like most people focus, as they say along the projection, on the early Renoir, when actually this collector, Dr. Barnes, was focusing on the late work, which is, I believe, just as valuable because it reflects the personality of a man, and it does not only focus on what people like and find beautiful. And I think that's something very, very impressive. I also liked a lot about this what I also liked a lot about this projection is the fact that we could see the people that were there, like actually interact as if we were part of the museum. We could listen to their opinions, we could like hear what they thought, and I think that was very special because, well, I was expecting to see like people talking about the style or whatever, but they were saying things that probably I would say, and I don't even appreciate art that much. So I felt like more connected to these people because they were talking about like the woman that was in the picture, not so much about the style. And I think that is something very valuable as well, because what is important about art, I think, is what it makes you feel, the impact it has on you. And I believe the other thing that impressed me a lot was this woman that worked in the Barnes Museum and was talking about this specific painting, which name I don't remember. I think it was something about his family. And it's a picture that displays exactly that, his family on a long walk. And there's like a space where she believed that he could be. And even though they used the x-ray and they find that she was wrong, that he didn't actually paint it and then erase himself from the picture, I really love the way this woman was expressing her passion about what she likes the most. And I think that was something very special from that projection. And in the second projection, I really liked that it was something like different. It was not only focusing on the artists themselves, but on the opportunity that a landscape can give them. So in this case, we were looking at the beginning at Monet's garden, which is what he painted the most, what he is most famous for. And I believe it was something very interesting and a rather different way to see art. Because, well, normally we know that artists are influenced by politics, by social problems, by their own life, by their own families, but nature is also a big part of this. And the way they are able to manipulate nature, and for example, in the case of Manet, the way he even took care of his own garden and played with the colors there, it was like he was painting already, you know, while he was like nourishing his garden, and then he just took that from what he had done with his hands to a piece of art, and I think that's something very beautiful. The way they play with colors and the way they experiment, not only with paint but also like with earth and with everything nature is able to give us. From this, I think it was sort of relaxing to watch that projection because of the music and the flowers. It was like something very calm. And I think that's, well, that was one of the few times I have feel like impacted. I don't know if that's correctly said. I guess it's so. So that I really felt an impact from art. And I think it was mainly because it was mixed like with moving images and music. That's something very important for me. And actually being able to see that play, like it's not only on a painting but it's something that exists, I think it's something very important too, especially for people who are like the followers or that really enjoy Monet's pieces. I liked a lot the way the head gardener talked about him, the way he explained how an artist can become a gardener and like coexist in balance while both working with nature and his hands, like getting dirty and everything, and then taking this to something that seems more artistic, but it's actually the work they just did previously. So I think they were very different projections in very two different perspectives of art. Because in one we got to see like the whole life and a lot of opinions from everything, and in the other one we were focusing on basically a tool they use, like some extra hobby or some inspirational tool for artists, which are gardens. And I think both of them are equally valuable. And even though I'm not like a huge fan of art, they both made me like look at it in a different way and even come closer to it. And I even enjoyed seeing that my classmates and other people there were enjoying it. On the first one, there was like a couple next to me, and the guy was like laughing at everything, but like in a smart way. I don't know how to express that, but he was actually like making smart comments about everything, and I think it's interesting to see that people are like passionate about something I don't understand, and that may even help me to come closer to that. So that's all. Thank you.